Okay, guys, this is the last video for your polynomials unit. This one is about dividing. So we are going to cover dividing a monomial by another monomial, and then dividing a polynomial by a monomial as well. Beyond that, in Algebra 1, you really won't see any more complicated polynomial division. Then when you get to Algebra 2, you'll learn about two other methods that are very exciting, but we will stick to these two for now. So when dividing, I want you to remember, this can look a little overwhelming, but just like what we did when we started out with multiplying, I just want you to remember to chunk the matching parts together, okay? Chunk or group the matching parts, and you have to remember the quotient rule for exponents. When we multiplied bases, we added the exponent. Now we're doing the opposite operation. We're dividing the bases. So the exponents are going to do the opposite thing also. We are going to subtract the exponents. All right, if we can remember those two rules, we'll be good. So what do I mean when I say chunk the matching parts? Okay, we're going to split this up. We've got coefficients, 35 and 7. We're going to do that division problem. 35 divided by 7 gives me a quotient of 5, an answer of 5. Okay, and now we're going to talk about our x's. We have x to the 5th divided by x to the 3rd. So this is the same thing as x to the 5th minus 3. 5 minus 3 is x squared. Now we're going to take care of these y's. Y to the 4th divided by y squared. Well, that's the same thing as y to the 4th minus 2, which equals y squared. So now we got to put all these chunks back together. 35x to the 5th y to the 4th divided by 7x cubed y squared is 5x squared y squared. Not so bad when you split it up, right? Let's take a look at another one. 10x to the 6th y squared divided by 5x cubed y. So let's chunk the parts. 10 divided by 5, x to the 6th divided by x to the 3rd, and y squared divided by y, or y to the 1st. So 10 divided by 5 gives me 2. X to the 6th divided by x to the 3rd, what's 6 minus 3? It's 3. And y squared divided by y to the 1st, what's 2 minus 1? It's just 1. So we can write our answer as 2x to the 3rd y. All right, how about this guy? 18x to the 5th divided by 3x to the 7th. 18 divided by 3, and x to the 5th divided by x to the 7th. All right, 18 divided by 3 is 6, right? 6 times 3 is 18. X to the 5th divided by x to the 7th. Okay, you guys, what is happening? 5 minus 7, that gives me a negative x, or an x to the negative 2. That cannot be my answer. So I need to take this x to the 2nd and bump it down underneath. I'm not going to put it under a 1 because I already have an existing coefficient of 6. That 6 is going to stay in the numerator, and just the thing that I need to make positive comes down into the denominator. So my answer is 6 divided by x squared. 18x to the 5th divided by 3x to the 7th is 6 over x squared. All right. If you are uncomfortable with anything that we just did, pause this video, rewind it, and watch it again. Otherwise, we're going to move on to something a little bit longer, but not any more complicated. We're still doing the exact same thing that we just did. We're just doing it to a little bit more, some more terms here. Okay, we're going to follow the same procedure as monomial divided by monomial, but we're going to be doing something that I call double chunking, because first, we need to take this part, the thing that is doing the dividing, which is called the divisor. We need to divide each of these terms by the divisor. So we're going to set this up as 9x to the fourth divided by 3x squared, and then 3x to the fifth y squared divided by 3x squared, and then negative 12x to the seventh divided by 3x squared. Okay, and now we can go through and chunk our parts just like we did when we only had monomials to worry about. So I'll have 9 divided by 3, and I'll have x to the fourth divided by x squared. This part will give me, what's 9 divided by 3? We know that one, right? 3. And x to the fourth divided by x squared, that's nothing more than 4 minus 2, gives me x squared. Now I've got 3x, now let me break this up a little bit. I've got 3 divided by 3. I've got x to the fifth divided by x squared. And then I've got y squared, but I don't have a y in my thing that's doing the dividing. So we're just going to put in an invisible 1 there. The y squared will not change because there's nothing in the divisor that we can divide into y squared. All right? So 3 divided by 3 is 1. X to the fifth divided by x squared, what's 5 minus 2? It's 3. And y squared divided by 1 is just y squared. All right, last but not least, negative 12 divided by 3, and x to the seventh divided by x squared. Negative 12 divided by 3 will give me negative 4, and x to the seventh divided by x squared, same thing as x to the 7 minus 2. That gives me x to the fifth. So when I put all this together into one answer, I get 3x squared plus x cubed y squared minus 4x to the fifth. And if I wanted to be a superior scholar and math student, I would put this in descending order. I would have to have that negative 4x to the fifth first, plus x cubed y squared plus 3x squared. All right. Let's look at a couple of examples here. I think I've got 2 for you on the back of your notes page. Will hopefully make this a little bit easier the more you do them. I can get my camera back into focus. That would be splendid. There we go. Gotta love technology, right guys? Okay, so this first one, 12h to the 6th, j to the 5th, minus 24h to the 10th, j to the 6th, divided by 6hj. Okay, so this is nothing more than 12h6, j5, divided by 6hj, and negative 24h to the 10th, j to the 6th, divided by 6hj. So 12 divided by 6, h to the 6th divided by h to the 1st, and j to the 5th divided by j to the 1st. That's going to give me 2 h to the 5th, because 6 minus 1 is 5, j to the 4th. Okay, that's for the first chunk. Now we need to do the second part. Negative 24 divided by 6, h10 divided by h1, and j6 divided by j1. And that's going to give me, negative 24 divided by 6 is negative 4, h to the 9th, 10 minus 1 is 9, 6 minus 1 is 5. 2h5j4 minus 4h to the 9th, j to the 5th. Okay, let's try this last guy here. 2xy minus 8x to the 4th, y to the 5th, divided by 4x squared, y squared. Okay, 2xy divided by 4x squared, y squared, and negative 8x to the 4th, y to the 5th, divided by 4x squared, y squared. Remember, we take that divisor and we have to divide each part. So that's what we have set up here, and that's what we set up over here as well. Okay, I'm going to draw this line so we don't have any confusion. 2 divided by 4, and x to the first divided by x squared. Oh, this is going to be interesting. 2 divided by 4. Okay, this is going to give me a fraction. What's 2 divided by 4? It's 1/2. We can reduce this. X to the first divided by x squared. That's the same thing as saying x1 minus 2. So that's going to give me x to the negative 1. Same thing here. y1 minus 2. And that's going to give me y to the negative 1. So the 1 will stay on top, and the 2 will stay on the bottom. We already have a fraction. And this is going to be 1 to x y on the bottom, because those negative 1s have to become positive. We have to move them down to the bottom. Okay, or under a numerator, because as we did this first bit of division, they were kind of living over a 1 like invisible mass. So then we get to bump them down to the bottom, and the fraction remained a fraction. All right, let's do this part. Negative 8 divided by 4, x to the 4th divided by x squared, y to the 5th divided by y squared. Negative 8 divided by 4 is 2. X to the 4th divided by x squared is x squared, and y to the 5th divided by y squared is y to the 3rd. Negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2, so that's going to give us a subtraction sign between our two terms. 2x squared y to the 3rd. 1 over 2xy minus 2x squared y to the 3rd is the answer for that second example. All right, if this is unclear, you know the drill. Rewind this video and watch it again. Watch it 15 times if you have to. No judgment. You are at home. You do what you got to do. We're going to be practicing in class, and then we'll put all of this together into some review before our unit test. If you have any questions, make sure you write them down so we can go over them first thing. Otherwise, I'll see you in class. Great job.